Hi, I am Sanjay Patel, and in this lecture, we are going to prove two very important limits, and it is an application of Sandwich theorem. So, I am going to prove two problems. The first problem is this. Let me say prove that limit n tends to infinity nth root of n is equal to 1. Okay, let us prove. We know that this nth raised to 1 upon n, that is nth root of n, is greater than 1 for every natural number n greater than 1. Okay, here n is in n. So this implies I can say n raised to 1 upon n minus 1 is positive. Okay, so to prove this, I will be defining a sequence whose nth term is n raised to 1 upon n minus 1. So let us put say xn is equal to n raised to 1 upon n minus 1. Okay. Remember, we want to discuss limit of this as n tends to infinity. So we can ignore that n equal to 1. Otherwise, also it is fine. Okay. The first step in this, what I will be doing is taking this 1 on the other side. So we get n raised to 1 upon n is equal to 1 plus xn. Okay, 1 plus xn. Okay. Now taking nth power on both the sides, we get n is equal to 1 plus xn whole raised to n. Okay, what we have done is taking nth power, on both the sides. Fine. So for this step, now I will be using the binomial theorem, a plus b whole raised to n. You know what is it? nc0 a raised to n plus nc1 a raised to n minus 1 into b, and so on up to ncn b raised to n. So the first term will be 1, then nc1, that is n, into xn, plus nc2, that is n into n minus 1 by 2 factorial xn square, and so on. And finally ncn, which is 1 into xn raised to n. So we get this thing. Okay. Now what we do is we take this 1 on the other side. So that will give us n minus 1 is equal to n into xn plus n into n minus 1 by 2 xn square plus and so on plus xn raised to n. Okay. Remember here this n minus 1 is the sum of all these terms. So if I take only one particular term, say for example I need this because my term n minus 1 is containing n minus 1, which is also present here. So I want something from this. So what I will do is I will be taking only this term and compare with n minus 1. So what can we conclude? This n minus 1, which is the sum of the all terms, is obviously greater than this particular term. Okay. So I can write this implies n minus 1 is greater than n into n minus 1 by 2 into xn square. Remember that all terms here are positive because n is positive and xn is also positive. Okay, so this is valid. What is the next step? I can cancel n minus 1 from both the sides. Okay, so we'll get this 2 upon xn square. I am taking this 2 and xn square on the other side is greater than n, is greater than n. Okay, fine. So that gives us 1 upon xn square is greater than n by 2, or equivalently I can say if I take the reciprocal, I will get xn square is less than 2 upon n, taking reciprocal. If a is greater than b, 1 upon a is less than 1 upon b. This is true for every n greater than 1. Okay, and we know all xn is positive, so I can say 0 less than xn square is less than 2 upon n for every n greater than 1. So we have 3 sequences, or let me take first of all square root here. So this gives me 0 less than xn less than square root of 2 upon n. Okay, now applying the limit as n tends to infinity in this, you know what you will get. Applying limit in this inequality, we will get limit n tends to infinity 0 less than or equal to limit n tends to infinity xn less than or equal to limit n tends to infinity square root of 2 upon n. And you know that this limit is 0 and this limit is also 0. Okay, so this is 0 and this is also 0. So what can we do? Sandwich theorem. So as a consequence, by sandwich theorem, we have limit n tends to infinity of xn is also equal to 0, because limit of the first and the last sequence both are 0, so limit of the middle sequence will also be 0. Okay, but our sequence was not xn. What I have proved here actually is this: limit n tends to infinity. What was xn? It was n raised to 1 upon n minus 1 is equal to 0. This thing is proved. Okay, so therefore I can write in the next line as limit n tends to infinity n raised to 1 upon n is equal to limit n tends to infinity n raised to 1 upon n minus 1 plus 1, and I can write like this. So I can express this sequence as sum of the two sequences, this and this. Okay, and on using working rules, limit of xn plus yn is equal to limit of xn. One cannot write directly, plus limit of 1. Remember, this is the given result which I will be using here, whose value is 0, this limit is 0, and limit of 1 is 1. So final answer is also 1. So what I have proved is limit n raised to 1 upon n is 1. So thus limit n tends to infinity n raised to 1 upon n is equal to 1. Hence proved. Okay. Let us go to the second problem. Example 2. Prove that limit n tends to infinity a raised to 1 upon n is equal to 1 for every positive real number A, where A belongs to R plus, that is A is positive. Okay. Remember that here A is any positive real number. So on this number line, suppose this is 0, then A can be anywhere. One trivial thing you can see here is if I take A equal to 1, then 1 raised to 1 upon n is 1. So it becomes a constant sequence. So you can rule out that separately. So let me put 1 here also. What I will be doing is I will divide the proof of this into 3 cases: for A equal to 1, for A greater than 1, and for 0 less than A less than 1. Okay. So A can be here. A can be here. A can be 1 or A can be greater than 1. Here it is 0 less than A less than 1. Okay. So let us consider 3 cases. Case 1. Case 1, we assume that A is greater than 1. Okay. If A is greater than 1, then A raised to 1 upon n is also greater than 1. Okay. So I can have A raised to 1 upon n minus 1 again as a positive real number. And this I want to define as my new sequence. Say xn is equal to A raised to 1 upon n minus 1. Okay. Next, this we can write as, remember this is also positive, xn is positive for every n. Okay. So I can write A raised to 1 upon n is equal to 1 plus xn, taking this 1 on the other side. Okay. And it's a similar type of thing as we have discussed in the previous example. I can take nth power on both the sides. So what I will get is A raised to 1 upon n raised to n, that is A is equal to 1 plus xn raised to n. Okay, taking nth power. Next, this I want to simplify using binomial theorem again. So I can add 1 plus n into xn plus n into n minus 1 by 2 factorial into xn square plus and so on into xn raised to n. Remember that we cannot now do the same thing as in the previous example. What we can do next? This A is the sum of all these terms. All these terms are positive. Okay. So I can say that this number A, which is sum of all these terms, is in particular greater than n into xn. I want only this term, n into xn. Okay. There it was n minus 1. So I have chosen the third term. But here it is only A, and it is not related to all of this. So I can write directly A is greater than n into xn. Okay. So this gives me A upon n is greater than xn. A upon n is greater than xn. And now that simplifies our job. I can now write this as 0 less than xn less than A upon n. Remember, A is a fixed positive number greater than 1. A is greater than 1 and all xn are also positive. Okay. So now taking limit as n tends to infinity, limit as n tends to infinity, what we can get is this limit n tends to infinity of 0 less than or equal to, remember always less than becomes less than or equal to when you take limit in an inequality, even if it is strict inequality. Less than or equal to limit n tends to infinity A upon n. But we know that this limit is 0. Okay. This limit is 0 and this limit is also 0. So what we'll get is, by Sandwich theorem, that limit of xn is also 0. This gives us by Sandwich theorem. Okay, but still the job is not over. Xn equal to 0 we have proved as n tends to infinity. So that gives us limit n tends to infinity a raised to 1 upon n minus 1 equal to 0. And again, by the same arguments, I am omitting some steps, but which are simple. I can write now directly as a raised to 1 upon n is equal to 1. Okay, I am not directly taking this 1 on this side. We are using similar arguments as we have discussed in the previous example. Remember, this is not the end of the proof, because this we have proved only for a greater than 1. Okay, so the case 1 is done. If a is greater than 1, then limit of a raised to 1 upon n, limit of a raised to 1 upon n is 1. So we have proved only for this thing. Okay, so case 2, we suppose a is equal to 1, that a trivial case. For a is equal to 1, the given sequence, which is a raised to 1 upon n, the original sequence, becomes constant sequence 1, and therefore it is clear that limit of a raised to 1 upon n is 1, because a is 1. So this is 1, nothing to prove here. Case 3 is what happens if a is between 0 and 1. We know a is a real number. So case 3 I am taking like this. Suppose 0 less than a less than 1, this case. Okay, what is the conclusion from this? We can say, if a is lying between 0 and 1, if you take the reciprocal, 1 upon a will be greater than 1. Okay, so let us put b, let us put b is equal to 1 upon a. Okay, therefore b is greater than 1, and just now we have proved that if b is greater than 1, then limit n tends to infinity, as in case 1, b raised to 1 upon n is equal to 1. This is by case 1. We have proved in case 1 that if b is greater than a is greater than 1, then a raised to 1 upon n tends to 1 as n tends to infinity. Let us substitute the value of b. B is 1 upon a, so I can have limit n tends to infinity 1 upon a raised to 1 upon n is equal to 1. Okay, and using the rules of power indices, this we can rewrite as 1 upon a raised to 1 upon n. So we have two sequences. This is xn, this is what? This is 1 upon 1 upon a raised to 1 upon n converging to 1. So using the working rules, if xn tends to x and xn is not 0, x is not 0, we can say its reciprocal converges to 1 upon x. So I can say limit n tends to infinity, a raised to 1 upon n is equal to 1. Do you understand what result I am using here? I am using this result. This one, xn tends to x implies 1 upon xn tends to 1 upon x. Remember, this is true only if xn is not 0 and x is not 0. In our case, a raised to 1 upon n is not 0, and the limit which is 1 here is also non-zero. So we have proved that a raised to 1 upon n is equal to 1 when 0 less than a less than 1. Okay, we have proved this in the case 0 less than a less than 1. Okay, so in all cases we have proved that limit n tends to infinity, thus limit n tends to infinity, a raised to 1 upon n is equal to 1 is proved for every a greater than 0. Okay, so thank you. We'll be seeing more examples in our next lecture. Thank you.